Hi, Shannon and Dr. Tarbox. My son is 3 years and 2 months getting 40 hours of ABA through CARD. My question is, now that he is getting the 40 hours, how much therapy should I be doing? And what should I be doing? FYI, I have 2 other kids. Thank you and God bless you both for all the help you provide for us desperate parents. Been there and done that. And you know, that's part of why I want to be here, is to pay forward the help that I got from people like yourself, that you helped us so much. So thrilled to be a part of all of that.
Okay, so this is, first of all, congratulations that they have a full program and that they're getting the right treatment at the right age. That's awesome, right?
Yeah, you're
nothing
rocking
could be better. But to answer your question in terms of how much work you can be doing as well, honestly, the best outcomes are achieved when families are the most committed and the most involved. And that's challenging for everybody. Honestly, it's easier for the ABA provider if the parents kind of check out, because we just do our job, you know?
Right.
But it doesn't produce the best outcomes. The best outcomes are when the parents are very seriously, intensively involved. So I always liken early intensive ABA to something like training for your first Olympic performance, okay? So let's say you have one shot to go to the Olympics. You're an Olympic athlete or hopeful, and you've got a few years to train. You've got maybe 3 or 4 years to train, a 3 or 4 year Olympic career. What are you going to do for those 3 or 4 years? Are you going to do the average amount that most people do, or are you going to do the absolute most that you can to produce the best possible outcome and maybe even get a gold medal, right? So it's just like that. Or going to grad school. When you go to get your PhD, you don't do the minimum. You try to get the absolute most that you can out of those 4 years or 5 years that you have, the most intensive learning experience of your life, to have the best possible outcome, right?
Yeah.
So early intensive ABA for kids with autism is the same thing, except it's, unfortunately, the whole family is basically training for the Olympics. So the way that personally that I would like to, or the way that I conceptualize it, and my recommendations is, if it's possible, and just have this conversation with yourself, if it's possible, is it possible for you to say to yourself, the next 3 or 4 years are going to be the most challenging years of my life, and I am going to make many sacrifices. And, you know, Olympic athletes, you don't see them eating whatever they want. You don't see them socializing a whole bunch. You don't see them do all the other things that would make a life more full and fulfilling and happy and less stressful. You do see them completely dedicated to this one thing. So is it possible for you to sort of conceptualize your child's treatment a little bit like that? Not to that same level, but kind of like that. Kind of like, maybe it doesn't really matter how much I feel or how I feel too much for the next few years. Maybe it's worth it to put in an unreasonable amount of effort, an unreasonable amount of work, so that I can get the best possible outcomes. Now, that being said, don't go crazy, right? Like, take care of yourself, right? I'm not saying don't have fun by any means, but every waking moment for your child is a learning opportunity, right? There's only two options. Either you're asleep or you're learning something, if you're a human being, okay? So when your child's not asleep, they're learning something. And everything that you do in interacting with your child influences that learning, right? And have fun. Make sure to have fun. And not or. It's not a choice between enjoy life or help your child learn. It's both. It's enjoy life, and while you do that, fit in the maximum number of learning opportunities possible. And so the first thing to do is to ask your child's supervisor, what can I do? What homework can I work on for the next 2 weeks? And how can I embed these learning opportunities into what I do with my child every day?